Yeah. So, okay, OMI to NFT. Now that the core utility of the token has always been to interact with these NFTs, right? Whether it's buying or selling and all of those things. Now, the initial system, you could swap OMI to gems and you could cash those out, right? And you could cash out in OMI tokens, right? But once the regulations started coming down, if we allowed you to purchase gems, swap them to OMI, cash out, we're essentially acting as an exchange, right? Or a fiat on and off ramp, which we cannot do, right? Without a whole...
That's a securities issue right there, right?
Massively, right? And you need a whole ream of financial services licenses in every jurisdiction that your app operates in to be, we see it with exchanges. Some can operate in this jurisdiction and not that jurisdiction, right? So it wasn't a very effective business model. Now, what we will enable is OMI to NFT. So basically you can transact in the marketplace. So you're transacting peer-to-peer with other users using your tokens. That eliminates any of that sort of legislative risk, regulatory risk to the company, while still allowing you to use those tokens and fundamentally just giving you better access to these collectibles, right? I think Brock Blockchain mentioned this in a stream a few days ago, but and this is no guarantee that it will happen, but at that point, I mean, I don't think you'll see people sweeping floors. You'll see people sweeping whole collectibles.
Yes,
there are just some OMI whales out there, right? And I don't like to speak directly to this, but obviously the thought process behind this is that, as you buy your tokens, if they're cheaper, the deflationary mechanisms of the system possibly raise that price and you have more to spend on collectibles or more, raffle tickets or things in the app. So that's kind of the value driver there.
Don't worry, Reese, this is a safe space. This is a safe space. We're friends.
People can see my face though, so.
Oh, don't worry about them.
Yeah.
So now that we're in this safe space there, that's actually really cool. And you know what I'm going to say, because it's really cool, because there was somebody who I was interacting with, a megalo whale in anything this individual does. And he told me that he would love to buy an entire collection just so he can burn the collection now. So there's only one left.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my crazy butt went and bought one of those things that he was talking about just because.
Feel free to mention it to me.
Not on here.
Yeah. This is a safe space, Akil.
Only because he'll kill me. But they basically said that, I just want one left because then Bored Apes will have nothing on me. That was his quote. He says, Bored Apes will have nothing on me. And he was actually planning on selling it. He says, I'll sell them to, NBA players and stuff like that. I was like, man, and in fact that he's got connections like that is so awesome. Yep. Because, we're all nerds. I'm a former athlete, man, but I totally am like, yo, you got Spider-Man?
And I mean, look, fundamentally what that's doing is putting power into the hands of the token holders too, right? If they can come in with their tokens, say sweep a collectible and do that, well then they're obviously financially incentivized to promote that collectible, but it's benefiting all token holders as well. So it's when all those pillars are in place, we're going to look at a very interesting economic system, I think.
So question, will burning the NFTs also burn OMI?
No. Because if you're in possession of that NFT, you've either paid gems for it, at which point those tokens were burnt, or you've paid OMI tokens, right? And they're now in the possession of the seller. So no, in that instance, they wouldn't burn the tokens, but obviously, as you mentioned, burning those collectibles and reducing that supply just throws a whole other dynamic into this ecosystem.
Oh man. Well, it looks like we've got some more questions coming through. So I'm going to start asking some community questions, throw in my own little spin, obviously, because I'm an entertaining human that has just so much energy and loves this opportunity. So I'm going to take one from Veve Viral. It says, will OMI to NFT be available in the next year? And that doesn't actually what it says. I'm just making that year part up.
I would hope so. I would absolutely.
So the plan is that it will be available within this next 4 quarters.
Yes.
Next 4, folks.
I would hope to see all 4 phases of those OMI features now rolled out.
Okay.
Now, on that, I just want to point out to people that obviously Immutable is still very new tech as well. Even on the process of migrating, I think both development teams learned a lot about their system and how we interact with it. So look, development is development. It takes what it takes, but that's absolutely the intention. And we're at a point now where a lot of the big implementations we had to make to the app specifically have kind of happened. So now it's a lot more optimizations and revisions.